Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. Finally, the Steel Division 2 League Season 12 has begun. At the moment, it is planned that this is the last league tournament for the game. Unfortunately, there are fewer and fewer players. Organizing such a tournament is becoming more and more difficult, but since it is the last time, we cannot miss such an event, for sure. In today's video, I want to go through the player divisions groups, see what games awaits us, and try to predict the results. I will say in advance that I treat all the players with respect. Everything what I say is only related to the game. I hope I will not offend anyone when I say that player X, in my opinion, is stronger than player Y. Also briefly about the tournament. The tournament consists of 5 player division groups, designed to divide the players by skill level, so that newcomers do not fight with veterans. In ascending order, the 5th division is the newest players, the 1st is the most experienced and strong. And now, let's go through the divisions. 5th division. All divisions except for the 1st are divided into groups. In each group, players fight each other in the qualifying round, and the 2 strongest from each group advance to the finals, where there will be elimination round. Group A: Sepoju, Alfra, Hiko, Leo 333, Norwebe. Group B: YM Interns, Ruskis, Babubi Potato, DJ Spetsnasty, Moneyman. Group C: Jeff Jefferson, Bexus Bexus, Sol Midura, Royal Musketeer, Mr. Frodo. I don't know any of these players. I think Jeff Jefferson's name is somewhat familiar, maybe I fought him in quick play. This is where we see new players in tournaments. And honestly, it's good to see that there is a 5th division, which means the game is not dead yet. Pretty heartwarming. I can only wish the players good luck and fun. Perhaps this is their first Steel Division 2 tournament even. 4th division. Group A. Vampiro runs his own channel, but again, I don't remember playing with him. Drago Tango. I see him often in casts and tournaments, but I don't remember playing with him. Crusader 32 and Rasmussen 6969. I don't know anything about these players as well. I think Vampiro and Drago Tango will make it to the final from this group. Group B. Not a Bulldog. The guy is very active in the Discord. I see him in discussions very often. I think I encountered him in battles, maybe once or twice. Well, the 4th division is good fit for him. I can't say more. Creamy Bigums, a familiar name, but I can't remember. Seems like a good player. No eyes for you. Yeah, I think we all know him. We often see him on my streams. The guy who starts every battle with road bombing openings. A combination of a reconnaissance plane plus a bomber or a napalm plane. People here in the Discord are waiting for his punishment. As for me, the player is strong. Even without a cheesy start, he can give you a hard time. Games with him should be definitely interesting. The Boomer. Participated in monthly tournaments. I think I haven't fought him, but the player definitely has some tournament experience. 4th division is the right spot for him, I think. Here my bet is on No Eyes for You, for sure, and Creamy Bigums. I have feeling that he is not that simple. Group C. So fine. A player I don't know. Gastrot, same. Espresso. Now this is interesting. If this is Espresso I'm thinking about, then the entire 4th division is doomed. If this is the same Espresso, then the guy is much stronger than me. Every game I play against him is hopeless. I really feel like he's one step ahead of me every time. Even Koenig and Mimiu don't give me such feeling that I'm that bad. The only players who beat me like that without a chance, and I couldn't even hope for victory, are Insha and Konos. Was Insha and Konos. Unfortunately, both of them are not participating in the tournament. If it is him, then the victory will be his, and I can only sympathize with other players and say that going out to fight Espresso is already a very brave thing to do, actually. However, that same Espresso seems to have a nickname just Espresso, without the VE at the end. So, if it's another Espresso, then everything is okay, it's false alarm, everything will be good. A little update. I looked at the nickname in Discord. It is indeed Espresso who I thought about. Division 4.
I can't lie to you about your chances, but you have my sympathies.
Third division. Only 2 groups. Group A. YK Omamori. I see him often in tournaments, but I have never played with him. Tank, I've played against him a couple of times. A solid player, can't say more about his games. Zubat, plus he also runs his own YouTube channel, pretty good actually. The guy tries and creates a good content. William VZ, I don't know this guy. Avauser. We are like Eskel and Geralt, absolutely equal in strength. In this group, my bet is on him. Paladin Lepa, a good player, I often played with him in quick battles. I think he will be one of the winners in this group. Group B. X-Stark, a veteran, he has been playing for a long time, one of my first opponents in tournaments 2 years ago. Crippling Depression, I don't know him. I won the internet, also a veteran, but once again I don't remember playing against him. So the whole review looks like I always say I don't know this guy, I don't know this guy, I play with them and etc. But okay. In next couple of goes it will be more interesting. Lazio. The dude has a very nice avatar on Discord, been in game for quite a while, looks like a new player, but he's definitely not. Better be careful playing against him. From this group, X-Stark and I won the internet will most likely to win in my opinion. Division 2. Group A. Before that, and overall for Division 3 my money is on Avauser. Division 2 Group A. Lizak is a very strong player. I used to be very scared to fight him. However, he was on a long break and most likely is not as strong as he was. Stahlbrecher. I will never forget this player's nickname, a very brutal name and a strong player as well. I played against him and it was not an easy fight. Mint Jellyman. He's also a strong player, if I'm not mistaken he beat me recently. Tonoman is a solid player as well. I beat him in the tournament only because he could not play the third game due to real life matters and gave up. So it's very difficult to make assumptions here. I bet on Mint Jellyman and Stahlbrecher. However, Tonoman also deserves an attention. Lizak, with all due respect, is weaker than he once was. Group B. Attack Power. He had a long break, so it will be tough for him. Plus, he plays unbalanced, which means that any aggressive player is a problem for him. But he runs his own YouTube channel, who doesn't know him. We all wait for his casts in the first place. In terms of the game, I wouldn't bet on him now. On the other hand, in the first league he participated, he showed a very high level of play. Step Knight. After the last break, I began to play much worse, but for some reason, players in quick play recognizes me and afraid of me. Probably due to attack power casts. Even though I lost there all the time. Previously I could fight relatively confidently against Koenig, Mimir and Stardeck, but those days are long past. We'll see how I perform here. And just like this is the last league tournament, This is the last Steel Division 2 tournament for me. I will no longer participate in monthly, and no longer participating right now. Only made an exception for the last league. It is worth it and should be fun. Rablord, the player I fear most in my group. He was once strong, even Koenig began to be afraid of me when he found out that I defeated Rablord. However, now we should be on equal terms. Both took breaks, both defeated each other. There should be an interesting fight. Green, the Bootcamp Discord server owner, once a first division player, now he's purely involved in the server and helps newcomers. Well, and participates in salty discussions with Lizek. In the game, he himself said that he plays badly and that he is a noob. He exaggerates, of course, but after a long break I have no fear facing him. From Group B, I bet on myself and Frablord. I don't know how biased am I towards myself, but I feel pretty confident. Future will show. Group C. Tsagilita, also known as Dart Jar Jar, has finally returned to his first name. This is my very first tournament opponent in Steel Division 2, therefore I will never forget him. 2 years ago we were together in the same group in the 4th division, now we are both in the 2nd division. The player is strong and loves to spam Nebelwerfers. I learned it from him actually. I would never have thought to use them like that if I hadn't seen how he uses them actually. One of my first videos on the channel seems to be a cast of his game in that very tournament. Stan Tsekovsky became famous due to attack power casts. I even remember one when Gonzo was told about Stan. Gonzo didn't have a clue who he is, since like Gonzo didn't watch the channel. The player is famous for spamming Cromwells, however he does this only when he considers his opponent is weak. With equal players he is much more careful and plays as usual. The player is still strong, although he also took a break from the game. Also I confess that my playstyle is largely inspired by him and copied from him. For the infantry in the deck, armored fists and pushes, reconnaissance planes, I copied all of this from him. Then I diluted his style with the style of Gonzo and Karma in defense. In the result, I have a playstyle which I use right now. By the way, Attack Power is happy that he's not in the same group with Stan. Well, I wouldn't be so happy. Bori, a player who rose from the bottom to the top. I remember when he was still a complete noob, and now he's a solid player. Deserves respect for sure. Yapasa, a player who was weaker than me, but now I can confidently say that he is stronger than me. The playstyle is very similar to Koenig or Ghost Dragon. Unfortunately, Dragon is not participating. It's difficult to attack him. Attack Yapasa. He is used to play to my playstyle and knows me how to counter me. I think Yapasa will emerge victorious on Group C. Second player is difficult to determine. Tsagilito and Stan are complete opposites. Tsagilito is stronger in the long game. If Stan cannot push him, he will lose. And Tsagilito is not one of those who is easy to push. I will bet on him. My last fights with Stan also affects my perception. No offense, but there he showed himself very weak. Unlike Tsagilito, on whom seems like breaks does not have any effect at all. Well, and for the whole division, I think Yapasa will win. He doesn't really have any competition here, unless Frablord has remembered everything and has regained his powers. Now, first division. Anort, Colonel Koenig 42, Mimil, Ferit Achaimenid, formerly Ferit Rommel, Luna Lovegood, Gonzo. There are only 6 players, so the organizers decided that in the first division, unlike the others, everyone play against each other, so it will be very interesting. There should be a carnage, total deathmatch, 4 players will get to the final. Let's go through the players. I played against almost all of them, so I think I can make some predictions. Anort is a very strong player in the past. I remember when I just started playing, it was at the time of the Season 5. I often saw his name in the cast of games. However, it was long ago, he then was absent for a long time, and time waits for no man. When I met Anort in ranked battles recently, I would never have guessed that I am facing one of the strongest players. Therefore, I can't bet on him. However, maybe he has already remembered and got used to the game again. We'll see. König is my bet in this division. Among all the players here, he is the only one who didn't have any breaks from the game. So he has more experience and he has become stronger with each game. And looking ahead, among all the players here, he is the hardest for me to play against. In tournaments I have not been able to beat him even once. Mimiu is a number 2 favorite. He had a break, but a short one, and he has not lost his strengths. We often see him in the finals of monthly tournaments against König, where they play on equal terms. The only reason I put him on second place is because I have beaten him in tournament, and the fact that when he play our last counter is equal, usually equal very close, while König usually outtrades me 2-1. Also, Mimiu once taught a wisdom: to become the strongest player, you just have to wait until all other strongest players lead. He did so, and for some time he occupied the first place in the SDO leaderboard. But now this place belongs to König. Barrett. He is referred as the most aggressive player of Steel Division by a lot of people. In my opinion, the previous patch really nerfed his playstyle severely. The fallback nerf made his unprepared and sudden attacks very vulnerable and unforgiving for mistakes. If before Man of Steel he could attack... in types of Man of Steel, yes. He could easily attack and retreat if necessary, and he had units left. Now he attacks and loses everything, since the infantry is no longer immortal during retreat. I'm something of an aggressive player myself, and even I think that these attacks are too much. On the other hand, thanks to this, his games are very interesting to watch. We'll see. Luna is the only player here whom I never played against. He's famous for taking the worst divisions and playing in Division 2. So he took 52nd Sicherung and Kuruk 559 and destroyed the poor guys from the 2nd division in the past tournaments. This time he is in Division 1. I think he's not very happy about it, but it will be interesting if he takes 716th infantry. Against these players it's certain death. However, the player is definitely strong and has fun games. It will also be interesting to watch. And Ganzo. Who doesn't know him? At the moment, he is the undefeated champion of Steel Division 2. The only player who was able to beat him in tournament is Karma. And so until the 9th or 10th season he was the undisputed champion. But he hasn't played in tournaments for a long time. You can still encounter him in quick play. Considering his comments on the meta, as well as my place against him in quick play, I will put him in 3rd place. Still, I think König and Mimiu will be stronger now. I would also really like to see his game against SSB, especially their off-map. Of all people, he should definitely know how to counter it. He has a strong opinion that the game is in balance, Western allies are absolutely in balance except Force US. Commandos are okay, the SSB off-map is absolutely normal thing, nothing to worry about, and we're all just exaggerating the problems and simply doesn't know how to play. So it will definitely be fun to see him in action again. At the same time, There will also be so-called Fantasy League, a kind of bookmaker for the Steel Division 2 League. We have 450 points. With these points we can buy players who, as we think, will win the most. You can choose a maximum of 9 players and a minimum of 4. The higher the division, the more expensive the player. But he also brings more points for winning. And playoffs games has 1.5 multiplier, since there are more fights here there. The victory of your players in the first division brings 20 points, in the second 16, in the third 12, and so on. In terms of prices, everything is interesting here. As expected, Gonzo is the most expensive, Koenig is surprisingly inexpensive, Sten is also surprisingly very expensive, though probably should thank attack power for that. Well, oh, an espresso. This monster player is also very cheap. In general, that's it. I will leave a link to the Fantasy League in the description. Who is interested can try to place bets. Your team should be sent to Reef or Green HD via Discord personal message. By the way, big thanks to them for organizing both the tournament and the bookmaker. The winner will get a unique role in the Steel Division 2 League Discord and the right to brag about it. And that's all for this video. Let the final Steel Division 2 League begin. Let the best player win. Good luck and have fun for everyone.